I'm gonna play some Smash Bros. I'm gonna talk some trash, yo. Uh, no, 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 no! Controllers. No. Calibrate. All right, how we looking? Ah! All right, and the left one. No, no. Get in the middle. Get in the middle. Ah! This is useless. Can't play Smash Bros. Ah! Tale as old as time, right? Thumbsticks go out on these things. They drift all over the place. You can't play your games. Nintendo has recognized that it's a problem, and they will fix it for free if you're willing to send it in, wait for it, if there's no physical damage to the Joy-Con, and if there's nothing else wrong with it. So, aside from that, your only real options are to take them to a local repair shop like us, or I'm going to show you guys today how to fix them yourself. We're going to open them up without breaking them, replace the thumbstick with a brand new one, and get you back up and running. All right, so we have both a left and a right Joy-Con here today because they are a little bit different on the inside. Let's get you guys a little closer look, and we'll start with the left Joy-Con. So, before we go anywhere with this, you are going to need a special screwdriver bit. It is what we call a tri-wing. It has, instead of 4 wings like a Phillips, where it makes a plus symbol, it has 3 in kind of like a almost like a pyramid type of shape. You can get a full set of screwdriver bits from iFixit that'll have this in there. I'm going to put a link in the description for my recommendation on that. Once you've got that, these outer screws all use that. All right, once you've got all of those out, we need to get a wedge in between these two halves here. You can use your fingernail, you can use a spudger, whatever works best for you, but once you get those apart, you need to watch out because these 2 ribbons up here on the front are easy to damage. You don't want to break those or pull those out. Once we've got that apart, we are going to pull the battery out. It is held on with adhesive behind there. You can reach back there and just peel it up. If it doesn't give up as easily for you, just be careful, you don't want to damage it. But if you're slow and steady, that adhesive should let go. Then we've got the connector down here. Let me show you guys a little bit better. This connector right here for the battery. It's a pressed down connector. There's no locking mechanism or anything. Just pull right up on that. It comes right out. We're going to go ahead and switch our tri-wing screwdriver out for a small Phillips. You've got 3 screws here. Once you've got those 3 out, we're going to carefully lift this entire mid-frame out of here, and we're going to lay it over to the side. Okay? Leave yourself enough workspace that you can lay both sides of the Joy-Con out. You'll save yourself a lot of time and headache by not disconnecting and reconnecting a bunch of things. You can actually get most of this work done without disconnecting this ribbon, this ribbon, this ribbon. You'll save yourself some headache. So, watch out and be careful. Up here, there is a spring for the R and L buttons on each side of the Joy-Con, and that spring tends to go flying. And if you lose it, it can be a real nightmare to get another one or to find it. They really do go flying. So I like to go ahead and just pull that out in advance and set it aside somewhere safe. While you're in there, you might want to inspect this button. These break all the time, and if it's broken in there, makes sense to catch it now and replace it. Save yourself from having to open the thing back up again. Okay, now we do need to move this ribbon out of the way, so we will lift the latch on that. Come on. And just pull it up and out of the way. Okay, and then there's the ribbon for the actual thumbstick itself, which is this guy down here. Lift that. Very carefully pull it up and out. There we go. All right, and we're going to squeeze our Phillips screwdriver right in there. And right in here. Now the whole Joy-Con is going to go down when you do this because it was sitting on that thumbstick. We're pulling the thumbstick out through the hole. There is a gasket in there that's going to try to either come completely out of place or break. You just need to get the thumbstick to go through the hole, or just reapply it afterwards, whatever works better for you. Okay, this little black gasket right here needs to be in place. It helps prevent unnecessary amounts of dust and whatnot from getting in here and causing it all sorts of grief. So, we've got this out. We are not going to refurbish this stick. They're not worth refurbishing. We're going to replace it with a whole new one. I will put a link in the description for a couple of options for you. They range anywhere from $5 up to $15 depending on where you get them from. I can't share my supplier because they are a wholesale supplier, but as a golden rule, I wouldn't trust any thumbsticks that they sell for under $10. Usually they cheap out on the parts to get that price for you. If you bring your Joy-Con to us for repair, we do have some color options. So we've got white. We've got kind of an orange-red. We've got sky blue. And of course, the original black. Got them all. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and put a blue in there. Just feels right. All right, now while we're putting this in there, we're going to route this part of the ribbon cable underneath this one. So put that down over there, put this through here, and then we are going to have to move this other piece out of the way here. The ribbon cable over here needs to come up, out of the way, so that we can get everything back in place. Now you want to be very delicate with these ribbon cables. Any tugging on them, any crimping, any unnecessary or extensive pinching will just completely ruin them. Make sure this goes down underneath there. If it ruins it, you will have to start over. Now we just unlock the connectors for these ribbon cables and put them back in place. Now let's not forget our L button here. And we'll put the spring in place first so it doesn't go flying, and then just put both of the lips on the top and bottom into place. Okay, do not let that go anywhere. And now we just very carefully lay this back where it was, and then we'll put everything back where we found it. Now your battery connector, like I mentioned before, is a press down type of connector, but we do need to make sure that it is lined up carefully. You'll notice that the wires are on one side here, and there's a gap right down here that they line up with. So if you put them in the other way, they're going to get crimped up against this frame, so make sure they go in the right way. Okay. And then we're going to line this connector up the way that it was originally in there. Press down until it clicks. If it does not click, it may not be aligned properly. Do not press too firmly. If you press really hard and it's not clicking, you can damage the connector both on the battery and the board. So we don't want to do that. Now we just put this back in place. We are going to make sure that everything is slid in properly and lined up. If it doesn't go together smoothly, then it's not lined up. Just keep repositioning it and trying it until you figure it out. Only takes a couple of tries before you become familiar with how these go together. So. And then we'll put our screws back in. We're all done. Got a brand new thumbstick in there. So let's move on to the other side. They are a little bit different. So we'll start by removing the screws the same as we did with the left side. And as before, we are going to start by pulling the back apart. Again, you can use your fingernail or a spudger or whatever you've got handy. And then we'll carefully pull it apart. And we will keep those ribbons from getting strained or damaged. All right, so this side's a little bit easier because you don't need to remove the battery, but you do have this wireless antenna here that needs to come up out of position, come out of the routing that it has right down here, and then just scooch out of the way. You don't even need to disconnect it. For this one, we have 3 screws. Now, before we can take these 2 sides apart, we need to disconnect the battery connector. All right, and then just like before, we're going to carefully pull it out and lay it aside. It has ribbons that we do not want to damage. In this case, it is this ribbon right here. I'm going to lay this aside. We're going to just set it out of the way, okay? Now we have these 2 screws for the thumbstick and then just the thumbstick ribbon connector. We don't need to undo or move any other ribbons on this one. Make sure that we latch it down. Click. We're just going to lay this back in place very carefully. Go. Make sure none of our wires or ribbons are getting pinched. Everything's looking good, so we'll screw it back in place. And we need to route our adapter here. This ribbon goes up through here, then up the side, and this little square slots nicely into there. Should not give, should not move, should be nice and firm in place. Got everything routed nicely. Then we just need to put the battery connector back in place. Nice click out of it. There we go. Back to the tri-wing for the final screws. There you have it. Not too bad. Now it's important to plug them in and test them out. So we're going to head back over to the switch. So if you put a new thumbstick in and the calibration does not come out right, don't panic. All we have to do is connect both of the Joy-Cons to the switch. And we are going to power cycle this switch. All right, we're in business. right, so we've got new thumbsticks in each of these. They're both working great and ready to rock. Couple of little ribbons in there that you got to watch out for, but if you take your time and you pay attention, you shouldn't have any trouble with it. Like I said before, we do this repair at our Salt Lake location, or if you're willing to wait, no physical damage on your Joy-Con and nothing else wrong with it, you can send it into Nintendo to get it done for free. But if you want to do it yourself, hopefully you have what you need now. If you like this video, hit that like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell down below if you want to be notified when we do more videos like this. And until next time.